Pepsi. Today I'm going to be doing my manga pickups for November and December of 2017. I'm continuing with my backlog of pickups videos so that hopefully I can catch up, and by the end of March I'll be able to do my March pickups. So as always, I'm going to start with the series that are continuations first, and then I'll show you the new series that I started. So first of all, I picked up volume 6 of The Heroic Legend of Arslan. This one is still a pretty good story. I'm really enjoying reading it. I know volume 7 is out, and I haven't picked that up as of right now, so that's possibly a pickup for March. We will see. But I do enjoy the story. It's really interesting. And then the next thing I picked up is volume 23 of Attack on Titan. This is still an amazing story. I remember reading this one, I was a little confused because it starts off with an entirely new, well, mostly new cast of characters. And I remember reading it and thinking, did I miss a volume somewhere? So I had to go back and reread volume 22 to kind of like reassure myself, no, I didn't miss one. But the story in here was really interesting. They're still giving us a lot of answers, like they have in the previous volumes, which I'm really enjoying. And I'm really excited to see how everything matches up. I have a little bed buddy today. She's slowly sneaking forward. We'll see if she decides to stay where she is. So next up is volume 4 of Dream and Sun. I've really been enjoying this series, although the main character recently has started to get a little bit annoying. Like in the first few volumes she was pretty immature, but she was a high school girl, so it's kind of expected. And I mean, yeah, she's still a high school girl, but she's just very indecisive, and it's starting to get frustrating. Like, it was okay in the first few volumes, but she's just continuing to be that way and is kind of like wishy-washy, and it's starting to get a little annoying. So we'll see. I'm still enjoying the story, but just that's one thing that was a little bit irritating while reading it, so I'll continue picking them up, but it's just something I've kind of had in the back of my mind. And then the next thing I picked up was volume 3 of A Girl from the Other Side. I really like this series. Seems to be coming out pretty slowly. I'm still waiting for volume 4 to be published as of like the end of February, so I think it's coming out soonish. That'll probably be a March pickup. But yeah, this story is really good, really intriguing, and I'm excited to see where the next few volumes go. Then next up, I purchased volume 9 of Barakamon. Again, this is another series that I really like. It's a lot like Yotsuba, as I've said before, but again, I know I've said this, but I like the storyline in it, which is why I'm starting to like it a little bit more than Yotsuba. There's still a bunch more volumes to pick up. I'm catching up slowly but surely. It's just that they're very expensive. In Canada, they are $18 a volume. So yeah, I pick them up every once in a while. I really love the series. They're just really expensive. And so those are all the continuations I've gotten for November and December. I started quite a few new series. So the first of which is the manga Your Name by Makoto Shinkai. I know there is a movie for this, but for some reason I'm not big on movies. I'd much rather read it if given the option. I don't know why. And I mean, like, I do like movies. I'd just rather read a book. So yeah, I picked this up. I really enjoy the story so far. And so I've read volume 1, and then I also picked up volume 2, I think in December. So I read this as well, and it had a really interesting turn that I wasn't expecting in volume 2. So I'm really interested to see where the rest of the story goes. I don't know how many volumes they're planning on making, considering that it was only a film and not a anime series as far as I know. So I'm guessing there's probably not that many more volumes to this, but yeah, we'll see. I'm really enjoying it so far. Looking forward to volume 3. And then the next thing I picked up was this book. I'm not really sure how to pronounce the name. It's like Grainliers or Grainulars. I'm not sure. But it was a really interesting series. I remember reading the back of it and kind of putting it down because it's a yen press book, the same as Barakeman, so the price is kind of atrocious. $17 for one volume of manga. Yen press is a bunch of thieves, but I really like the series they make. So it was a really interesting storyline, so I actually saw it again in the store and picked it up and read the back, and then realized that I'd already looked at it a previous time and figured, okay, if I've come back to it twice and been interested in it twice, I should probably just buy it and read it. But basically the premise of the story is that seeds of plants are actually imbued with like special powers. They haven't really told us what these powers are yet, which is something I'm interested to learn about. And so the main character, this dude, is cultivating seeds in secret and selling them like under the table to make money. And so he ends up, there's a situation and he ends up running away from home and ends up taking some seeds. And so that's where it starts. So yeah, the whole world and the concept that it's built around sounds really cool. It makes me really interested in where the rest of the story is going to go. So I'm looking forward to getting some more of that when it comes out. Then the next thing I bought was something that a couple YouTubers or manga tubers have already hyped up, and that is Twin Star Exorcists. The premise of this does sound really cool. I read this first volume and it was pretty good. It wasn't quite amazing just yet. It seems like your typical shonen kind of battle manga where like these two fight demons. But I will buy some more volumes, I will give it a chance, and I will see if it really knocks my socks off. So yeah, I got volume 1. Next up, I bought a romance series because it looked really cute. It's called Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. I got volume 1, and I did go back and buy volume 2 when that came out. So the premise of this story is that the girl and the guy, these two, end up having a romance together. The girl is like your typical honor student in Japan, and the guy is a famous actor, and they both have their own secret lives that they discover about each other, and that kind of makes them form a relationship or connection, and from there it turns into a relationship. But this series, I thought it would be a really sweet and kind of touching romance series, and it's not quite. It's actually a lot more perverted than I was expecting it to be, which, I mean, I can still handle. It's still interesting to read about, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But obviously it didn't bother me that much because I still went and bought volume 2. So I think volume 3 was out a little while ago, sometime in February, so I will have to pick that up sometime soon. And then the next thing that I started that I was really interested about, or to read, is To Your Eternity Volume 1. So I've read this. It's interesting. It's really different, and it's hard to even explain what it's about. there's this orb that we don't know where it comes from that falls to Earth and can take on the shapes of other things. So first it's like, I think, a mossy rock or something like that, and then it turns into a wolf and then a human. And so it's about this orb's adventures and the people and things that it meets in said adventures. I think that's the best that I can describe it so far. It's really different than A Silent Voice, which I really wasn't expecting. I was figuring that it would be kind of similar, but yeah, interesting. I will see where it goes. I will definitely pick up the next 2 volumes to continue reading it. And then the final thing that I got for November and December is Komomo Confessory, which is a really cute shoujo beat manga. And there's 5 volumes in the series, and I went and bought 1 and 2, and then I liked it so much. Those were in November, that in December I went back and got 3, 4, and 5. So it's just a really cute series about this girl and this guy. It's a romance, and she is the daughter of some like super rich man who ends up going bankrupt. And so she's like this spoiled, pampered princess that ends up having to actually have a job, which she's never done before. She's used to having like servants and living in a mansion, and then having to actually like work in customer service is something totally new, and she completely fails at. So it's a really interesting, funny concept. And I really enjoyed reading this series. If you're looking for just like a short, cute romance series, then this would be one for you. So yeah, I enjoyed that one. And that is everything I picked up for the months of November and December. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Feel free to leave me a comment in the comments down below. I love reading them and responding to them, and look forward to my pickups for January and February in the next few weeks. Until then, take care everyone, and thanks for watching. Bye!